Okay, so now we're going to install SquidGuard, which is a URL rewriter, which will allow us to set up some blacklists and blacklist certain sites. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do a Control-C and then type clear. So I'm out of here. And now what I want to do is do sudo apt-get install squid, and then with a capital G, guard. Let's see if that works. All right, we're going to improve. All right, no, no package, bummer. How about with a lowercase g? All right, that looks good. Lowercase g it is. So let's try that and see if we can get that working. All right, sudo apt-get install SquidGuard. Perfect. All right, I'll take it. Now, when you're doing this, you're also probably going to want to access. So what I'll do is I'm going to go back here to my preferences, and I'm going to turn off my proxy for right now. Let me just turn off this proxy, because I want to go to a website. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, let's see here, shalalist.de. And if I go to shalalist.de, for educational purposes, they have blacklists that you can download and use personally for educational purposes. But if you want to use them professionally, you have to pay them for their blacklist. So they maintain a blacklist that can be used with Squid. So if I go here to click and download, right, and then shalalist.tar.gz and save file, and that'll be saved to my downloads folder. But that is a blacklist maintained by Shalalist. There's also another one that I like to use that'll be in my write-up to this, which will be on danscourses.com. I'll have a link to a couple other options that you could use. So I have that blacklist ready to go if I want to use it. Let's take a look and make sure, now that we've done this, I'm going to change directory, and I'm hoping to find root var lib /SquidGuard. All right, great, that's there. All right, I was able to change directories and go into root directory var lib SquidGuard, all lowercase on SquidGuard, and then do an ls, and there's a directory called db. So this is where your blacklist will go, is in this db folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that folder, and I'll say, all right, I'm going into the db folder, and now I'm in root var lib SquidGuard db. And what I want to do is I'm going to create a file to set up some practice test domains to block. Okay, the file I'm going to create is called test domains. So I'll say sudo nano test domains. All right, that looks good. And you know what? Actually, scratch that. Control X. I'm not going to put a dash in there. Just test domains. Sudo nano test domains. All right, and in test domains, I'll put in some domains to block. danscourses.com, yahoo.com, msn.com, and maybe espn.com. Okay, so I'm going to set those up to potentially block. All right, so I want to basically get out now. So Control X, Y, and Control X, Y, and enter. And I'll do an ls. And so I have a file in here called test domains. It's in root var lib SquidGuard db. If I cat the file, you can see that it's just got a list of, on each line, a domain. So this is what we want to block, is whatever's in this file, which is in our DB folder, which is in SquidGuard. So now we just have to make some configuration changes to SquidGuard to make, and Squid, to make this work. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll change directory and we'll go into root etc SquidGuard. And we'll do an ls, and inside there you can see there is your squidguard.conf file. Notice it has a capital G, and so I'm going to back that up. So I'll do a sudo copy squidguard.conf and copy it to squidguard.conf.back. So I back up that file. So that's important. Okay, now let's edit the SquidGuard configuration file. So that should be fun. So let's see here, sudo nano-c for line numbers, and we're editing. I'm just going to put in the full path here so that you're aware of it. So root directory etc / in a folder named SquidGuard, there should be a file named squid with capital G guard.conf. Right? I'm already in that folder, but I just wanted to show you the full path. It'll help out later actually by putting in the full path when you change directories and you want to go back into the configuration file. Sometimes it's nice to just have that in there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. Oh, so okay, I'm scrolling down, and you'll see here that around starting at line 52, you can see here destination adult. This is an example of how you would set up a rule for blocking adult content. A domain list, URL list, expression list, and then redirect. So that looks cool. What we're going to do is we're going to make our own. So we're just going to copy that, and we're going to say destination test, and then open curly brace, and then 2 lines down, close curly brace. And this is our area right here. And we're going to say, okay, for our domain list, right, we have tab, a file named test domains. So you can see here they're providing, they use right above it says domain list, and then in a folder named BL, and then in another folder named adult, and another folder named domains. However, if we just type test domains is in the DB directory. This should access it right away. We can tell that by going up here near the top. I think they show you it says here, you know, the database home is in root var lib squidguard db. So that's where, you know, and then the log is located here. So it kind of says right up here in the variables where that goes. We're also going to go down here to, it says here with an ACL, foo clients within work hours. So pass as good anything not in address, not porn, any. So what we want to do, so this is passing everything right here, okay? That's, you know, basically, so I want to disable this because right now that's passing everything, and then we wouldn't have a good test. So yeah, that looks good. That's just an ACL. All right. And then else pass any. Okay, bar kinds, pass local none. Good. Default, pass local none. We're going to change this. So we'll say pass as long as it's not in test. Any. So pass anything by default. Pass anything not in test. Basically, that's what you're saying. Pass not in test anything. And then we can redirect, and right now it redirects here. We could always change this redirector to redirect to some other page, but right now we'll just leave it the way it is. But that looks good. So by default on our ACL, we commented out this one line here, and then we changed this line to pass, not test any. That looks good. Okay, and we go back up here and we say, all right, domain test, there's our test domain right here. Notice they have a space here, so I'll put a space. Space, there we go. A space between destination test and then the first curly brace. Just want to copy the same exact format. You can see here they have other destinations here, good, local, porn, ready to go to help you set up your blockers. All right, yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to do a Control X, Y, and enter, and that's it. So now that we've done that, we've set up the configuration file. SquidGuard works based on a database. So you have to compile the database of blacklists for SquidGuard to work correctly. So to do that, you just do a sudo, and I'll say SquidGuard with a capital G dash Command C all. Now, hopefully this works with this capital G. It may work with a lowercase g, considering that it's changed when I installed it. When I installed SquidGuard, the capital G no longer worked on installing it. So I'm wondering if that's going to work. This is based on what I did last year. So let's see here. I'll hit enter, and it worked. So good. A couple of other things here. If I do a cd into root var lib, right, root var lib, and I do an ls, change directory into root var lib, you'll see here there's the SquidGuard folder. So let me change directory into there. All right, so now I'm in root var lib SquidGuard, and I'm going to do an ls-l, and you can see here that the database folder where your blacklist goes, that's where our test domains file is. You can see it's owned by root and root. What we want to do is we want to give Squid access to this directory. We want Squid to have access to it. So for Squid to have access to it, I'm going to say sudo chown, which is change owner, dash capital R recursively to proxy : proxy, and I want that to be for root var lib SquidGuard / db. So anything in that db folder should now be owned by proxy, which is Squid, so Squid will have access to SquidGuard's stuff. All right, now I'm going to do that same thing to root var log / SquidGuard. And I'm also going to do it to root usr / bin / SquidGuard with a capital G, since that's how we were able to run the program. Okay, so I've given ownership and group access to the SquidGuard database, the SquidGuard log, and the SquidGuard program. Now what I need to do is tell Squid, the web proxy server, to use SquidGuard as a URL rewriter, and there's a place in the configuration file in Squid where you can set up URL rewriters and point it to this program. So it's pretty easy to do. So all we got to do is say sudo, we're going to go back to nano, -c for line numbers, and we're going to go into root etc squid / squid.conf, and we are looking for the line that has URL _ rewrite _ program. So let's see here. I'll just do Control W, and I'll look for URL _ rewrite _ program. And okay, all right, I found that's not it, I don't think. That's line 658. So I'm going to do that again. Control W, and then rewrite program again. And now I'm on line 4000, and I'm expecting it right around here. So let's see here. Options for URL rewriting. This looks like the right section. So I'll scroll down here. Options for URL rewriting. This is all instructions. It's all commented out. All right, I'm not seeing, let's see here. Options for URL rewriting. Tag URL rewrite _ program. You know what I'm gonna do is this is it. This is what we want. So it's at line 4397. I'm going to basically go in here and I'm gonna type it in myself. So URL _ rewrite _ program and space and then the path to SquidGuard. So it's in USR root USR bin / SquidGuard with a capital G. That looks correct right there to me. So Control X, Y, and enter to save. And now all I need to do is restart Squid. So let's see here. Let's restart Squid. Well, sudo system ctl squid restart. System ctl restart Squid. There we go. Sudo system ctl restart Squid. Okay. Come on. Okay, it worked. Now let's just double check that there's no errors. Status Squid. Okay, yep, no errors. So that looked pretty good. Notice I could do that to find out whether there's some errors. It looks good. So what I can do now is go back to Firefox. I'm still proxying here to my Linux box to Mint at 192.168.3.93 on port 3128. Great. So I should, if I go to msn.com, I should get blocked. And error. Cannot do it, right? And it tells you this is from Squid. It says it's from Dan's VirtualBox, Squid. This is letting me know this is from Squid. Pretty cool. And it should work the same on danscourses.com. I think I need to put in HTTP. Also blocked. And what else? ESPN.com blocked, right? But if I go to MLB.com, I can go to MLB. So as you can see, I blocked those pages, right? And Squid is doing it. So the SquidGuard URL rewriter is effectively blocking that domain list. So that's great news. So now all I have to do is, if I want to do more than that, is extract my blacklist and then implement that, and then I could actually have a whole blacklist to block. So to do that, I'm going to go to my home directory and then into downloads, and there is in my home directory, there's my Shala list blacklist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract it. So I'll do a tar -xzf. So that should extract the tar and unzip it. And shalalist.tar.gz. So tar xzf -xcf shalalist.tar.gz, that should extract it. Now I'll do an ls, and you can see I have a folder named Blacklist. All right, so I have that BL folder now with capital B, capital L. So now I can just sudo copy BL dash capital R recursively to root var lib SquidGuard db. So copy Blacklist dash capital R recursively into root var lib SquidGuard db. Now I'll go over there and take a look, make sure it's in there. There it is. There's my Blacklist folder. Notice that the test domains text file, after we compiled it, we get a testdomains.db file, database file. So that's what happened when we compiled test domains. It gave us a database. All right, excellent. So now that I've done this, I'm going to run a couple commands to make sure that, see if I do an ls-l, Blacklist is listed as being owned by root user root group. So I need to change that so that the Squid has access to it. So let's see here. And also the permissions here, root write, read write execute, read execute. So the permissions are not quite correct also here. These are the permissions for owner, group, and other. So I need to change the permissions. So I'm going to do a sudo chmod recursively to 755 permissions on root var lib SquidGuard /db / capital B, capital L. So recursively change the permissions to 755, which is read, write, execute, read, execute, read, execute. So now if I do an ls-l, you can see that that directory now has rwx and then r-x, r-x. So change the permissions there. Anyway, I'm also going to change the ownership chown recursively dash capital R to proxy : proxy, that same folder. Okay, so that happens. All right. Now, if I do an ls-l on in that folder, Blacklist is owned by proxy, and all recursively all the files inside of it. All right, so if we take a look inside of it, let's just take a look inside of it. ls-bl. You can see that these are all the areas that you can, these are blacklists, and these are subject areas: alcohol, aggressive, dating, drugs, right? So what we're going to do is, for a test, we'll work with the gamble folder. And if I go into that gamble folder, right, in the gamble folder and do an ls, you can see that, I'm sorry, change directory into BL, change directory into gamble, ls, you can see there's domains and URLs. So if I edit that domains file, so nano domains, and I'll just at the top here, I'll put in DraftKings.com. So just to pick on DraftKings a little bit, right now you can see that. Let me just verify that that is the, yep, DraftKings.com. All right, perfect. That is the site. Okay, perfect. So I'm adding DraftKings.com here to the top of this domain, and a Control X, Y, and Enter. And maybe I'll add that also to the URLs just to make sure that both get targeted. And those are URLs, or they have subfolders. They have URIs, so I don't think that's necessary. So I'll Control X out of there. So anyway, I added that name to that domain. So now what we can do is we can set it up so that we can block that. So to do that, I'm going to go back and edit that configuration file for SquidGuard. Let's just go back and edit that configuration file for SquidGuard. Where is it at? sudo nano-c etc. There we go, squidguard.conf. We'll go in there and we'll say, instead of, let's make a new destination here. Destination, gamble, close curly brace, tab, domain list, tab, in BL /gamble /domains. There's also tab, URL list, tab, in BL gamble, and it's called URLs. Perfect. Then I go all the way down to the ACL rules and I say pass not in test any and not gamble any. So I can do multiple conditions here. Pass not test, not gamble any. I think the default is or. So let me just double check that. Yeah. All right, looks good. Control X, Y, and Enter to edit that out. All right. Also, I want to sudo compile this. This is where you can get errors. If you have errors in your squidguard.conf file, then when you try to compile, you'll see that -C all. But you can see it compiled no problem. So if I do an ls now, you see that now not only domains has domains DB and URLs has URLs-DB. So that's good. All right. Now all I need to do is do sudo systemctl reload Squid. So I reload Squid and I should have that domain blocked now. So I'll go over here. You can see mlb.com is good, but DraftKings.com. Oh, DraftKings.com worked. Boo. All right. All right, Control X. I'm going to do an ls-l here. Look at this. The domains database is not accessible by Squid. Root. Looks like I missed this step. So sudo chown -capital R recursively, change it to owner proxy, group proxy, everything in root var lib SquidGuard, all lowercase, db. Now if I do an ls-l in this folder, they're owned by proxy. Beautiful. I'll restart Squid, or reload Squid rather, and now I'll close that, open this, and now DraftKings is blocked. So, well, that was good. I dodged a bullet on that one and showed a potential problem on why it wouldn't work. So anyway, that's it. So now that that's going, what you could do is you could go in here and you could activate some of these other things if you wanted to set up and block wares, weapons, spyware. Anyway, you could use this blacklist, and as long as traffic on your network is pointing at your web proxy server, your Squid server, then that traffic will be filtered.